Good afternoon, everybody. South Dakota, particularly. Excited to be here today with you guys, and excited to be here with Ernie today. Super excited about this. This is our first episode of what we're going to be calling the Opening the New Doors podcast, or whatever you want to call it.
Opening New Doors, yep.
Opening New Doors. So, what we're going to be discussing today is really just an introduction to our company, South Dakota Window and Door, and introducing ourselves, who we are, why we started South Dakota Window and Door, and maybe we'll get into a little bit why Thaddeus, the owner, started the company. Not sure we'll get into that too much. We might let that up to him for one of the next episodes. Anyway, going forward, we are going to be talking a lot about just window and door issues in the window and door industry, just common problems. We're going to have different people coming in, different installers, stuff like that, just talking about what they find in the field. And if anybody has any questions that they would like answered, please let us know. We will be happy to talk about it here. So yeah, excited to see where this all goes. Opening new doors, like I said, and that's really what it is. See where this goes. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ernie a little bit and enjoy.
Okay, Irvin, this is great. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We were trying to hook two mics into an iPhone this morning, and the iPhone says no dice. It was either one or the other, so we had to use one. We'll get that fixed up, and next time the audio is going to be a lot better than it is on this one. I thought it'd be a good idea if we just zoom out just a bit. So South Dakota Window and Door, that's the name of our company. And of course the main purpose and goal is to serve the state of South Dakota, all of it, not just the eastern region here. We're based basically out of Mitchell, South Dakota, but we do want to serve the entire state of South Dakota, and we have a warehouse and we have a team of guys in the Belle Fourche area that serve western, a little bit farther western South Dakota, but central also. And so South Dakota Window and Door is our purpose is to serve this state with window and door, particularly exterior doors. We don't do interior doors at this point. Excellent products from a company called Provia out of Ohio. Thaddeus Pate started the company, but it is not his first window and door situation he's been in. They did that since he was a teenager in Pennsylvania, and so there's a lot of experience. As a matter of fact, we have something in the neighborhood of like 60, 70 years of experience with doors and window installations represented in the company. Actually, more than that with the addition of Kenny and his crew. Kenny has been in the building industry all his life. So this podcast here, Irvin, I think we're going to do a lot of history with this one. Company history and company profile, bios, whatever. But then going forward, we'll look into issues that we deal with often, commonly as a company, and maybe feedback we get from customers. And then we're hoping to be able to interview the installers, each one by one, so you can meet them, and eventually you'll get to meet the whole team and be comfortable with the company more than you may be now. So It's Ernie Cheddar, and I've been with the company for about 2 years, a little more than 2 years now. Kind of from the beginning. Jeff was not with us yet. Kenny was not with us yet. Sam had already been on board, but I was there kind of in the beginning. Thaddeus Pate is the owner of the company, and we've been friends for years. And he just felt like he had an opening for me, and it's been great. I've really appreciated working with him. He's just a great guy to work for. He's a great guy to hire for you to work, him to work for you. So both ways, he's just a great guy all around, and a lot of people just really appreciate him. And so I am in the office. If you call the South Dakota Window and Door number, 605-630-9794, I will answer the phone. That's the office phone. And if you have warranty issues, if you have, if you'd like quotes of any kind, I'll be the one who answers the phone and get you pointed in the right direction.
Okay, thank you, Ernie. And I will introduce myself a little bit and where I come from. And if you've been watching my social media, you know a little bit where I come from, maybe. But so let me back up a little bit. I've only been here since October of 2024, so a little over half a year now. And really, I have really enjoyed being here. And what brought me out here, I actually grew up in Pennsylvania. Started in my family business, roofing, siding, windows, and doors when I was 16. And been there till I moved out here. I'm now 25, so that would have been 9 years. And we used the Previa window and door products. We used their siding. We used their roofing back in Pennsylvania. So I was familiar with the Previa company. And the reason we choose to work with Previa is because of their company culture and their values. They have a very, very good company culture and values there, which is why we work with them. They also have a really good product. But their customer service, I think, is probably what stands out the most.
No, that's true.
So... About me, I was on the roofing crew back in Pennsylvania from 16 till I was 20, right, 19, 20, right in that area. And then I started in sales. I was the roofing sales person for the company and did some siding, window, door sales as well, but mainly roofing. And so October of this past year, moved out here. And what brought me out here was Thaddeus, the owner of the company. So I met him at a 2-week Bible school, discipleship school, whatever you want to call it, and just the type of guy that you don't forget. So that's what brought me out here, and excited to see what we can do here with the company. So my role within the company is right now I'm taking care of all the in-house sales. Ernie takes care of contractor sales. I take care of the installed sales, all the residential installations.
That out, yeah.
So that is all the way from, I do a lot of traveling because we go all the way out to the west end of the state, which is about 5 hours from here. And then we go all the way. Yesterday I was in Spirit Lake, Iowa, which is about 3.5 hours.
I forgot to mention Iowa. Yep, that's correct.
So yeah, we have a large area to cover. And the goal is by the end of next year, we want to have a team of at least 2, maybe 3 salespeople so we can better serve our customers. With that, that is me and Ernie today. Looking forward to have Thaddeus on here sometime. But then about the company, I think Ernie already did that a little bit. He knows he's been here quite a bit longer than me.
We could hit that sort of what inspired the business. There's a couple things. So one of them, and there's also another. Why did we start this podcast? Number one, who else is doing it? Is there another door and window company that has a podcast? I don't think so. I don't know if there's good reasons for that. I guess we'll figure that out. School of Hard Knocks here. But what inspired the business? I think as we go along here, it's going to strike some nerves with people as far as, and not the podcast, but what I'm saying is we felt like there actually was a deficit, a vacuum a little bit of quality and affordable. Mm-hmm. You can buy good quality products around here or have them shipped in from somewhere, but they are incredibly expensive. And I don't want to mention names, but we have there's a lot of this certain brand around here that they're a good chunk of our work actually.
Yeah.
You know, as
replacing
far as them, replacing them. They put them in and thought, well, let's spend a lot of money on them. This should be a great window, but it did not end up working for the climate and the conditions that you face here in South Dakota. And that theme is going to come up over and over again because I thought I was thinking about that this morning. Here in South Dakota, and we all know this, we face the extremes of pretty much everything that the climate thing has to really offer because we get the winds, we get the storms, the rains, the cold, the heat. We've got, it's not, we're northern, part of the United States, but it's not like we don't get hot sun. This summer it gets 100 degrees. There's plenty of different parts of the home where you have to think of the summer heat. So it's interesting that we have such a variety and such a massive differential, in temperature throughout the year, and your door and window products have to be able to stand up to all those challenges, and it's tough. It's not an easy environment. I really feel like this is probably one of the worst. The South Dakota, North Dakota, and then Minnesota, and for sure northern, and maybe parts of Montana. This is probably some of the worst conditions, weather-wise, that products have to face, and be able to stand up to that. So,
yeah, it's definitely different. I mentioned I came from Pennsylvania. It's definitely different from the weather there. The problems you have out here with your windows and doors are definitely a different problem and different issue than back in Pennsylvania, just because of the wide variety of weather we have here. But anyway, one thing I forgot to mention about talking about Thaddeus starting the company. Before he started the company, he was a subcontractor installing windows and doors. He started with his dad when he was 13. And he installed personally over 26,000 windows before he started South Dakota Window and Door. I've never met somebody in the window and door industry yet that has as much expertise and knowledge that he does in the industry. So just wanted to mention that.
Seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
And then we want to go into why windows and doors. Ernie, I'm going to let you go on this. Why we chose to go in the window and door replacement industry, and we might have said some of that already, but
Thaddeus felt like when he moved back here a few years ago from Pennsylvania, I guess it was several years now, he had his options in front of him as to what he wanted to do. He's a very talented individual, and he's also doing kitchen cabinets, and so he's not limited to this field. But like we were saying before, there seemed to be a bit of a vacuum here. And you say, what are you talking about? There's a bunch of door and window companies around. We'll get into this later, probably with Jeff, who has worked for some of these other ones. But there's aspects to working with some of these other companies that we just plain and simply felt like we could address and fix up and patch up and have a better situation for our customers.
Yeah.
Than what some of these other companies had to offer. So that's our goal.
And right, what you said there, Ernie, one of the biggest things that sets us apart is our customer service. That's for me, that's the most important thing. There's a lot of companies out there that have good products. But the installation and the customer service, the service you're going to get, even after the sale, after it's installed, if there is problems, is a big thing. A lot of these companies, there's no company out there that doesn't have problems sometimes after the product is installed. And how the companies handle that, I think, is a big thing. And I think that's where we stand out a lot.
I'd like to shoot something on that. Yeah. There's a couple aspects to what you're talking about, to the customer service part. One of them is, we as a company want to be known for customer service. Right. It's a desire. It's not a byproduct for us. No. It's a prime product for us. But in addition to that, Provia probably is one of the top companies
for customer service.
Yeah, the more stories I hear from people that have had experience with other companies, the more I'm like, wow, these people really stand out. I've never sold for a different company, so I don't personally know that, but what I hear from Thaddeus, who's worked with other companies before, Jeff, yourself, maybe even, and my brother-in-law has been in Windows for 30 years or something. I don't know how long. He started building them at first, and then he was installing. And I've heard a lot of different things. Provia, they're just on it. When there's an issue of some kind, you do not have to twist any arms to get them to stand behind their products, and that helps us as a company. That enables us as a company to help the customers and to make sure the customer is satisfied. So it's really nice to have that. Yeah. We don't have to fight, the company to stand behind their product.
Yeah, and he mentioned Jeff a few times. So Jeff is our installer in east of here. He takes care of Sioux City, Sioux Falls, all those areas there. And he's had, I don't know, is it 30 years of installing now? He's been installing?
Something like it. It's up to Brookings area he covers also. But yeah, he's been in the industry for many years, for decades. He's seen a lot of stuff. He walked me around a show down there in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
One time we were doing a home show together, and he just walked me through the different booths and said, pointed out the different aspects that he doesn't appreciate about the other windows, and said, see this, see that. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. My confidence in I already worked with Previa, but my confidence went up after that experience, because this is in the field stuff that he's talking about.
And he's been installing for, he was a subcontractor. He didn't have his own company, so he was installing for a lot of different companies in the area.
Yeah, we're going to probably hesitate to really mention a lot of other people's names. That's not our purpose here, but we're going to just sort of stick with our own situation here and how we can help you, and hopefully this podcast helps break the ice a little bit.
Yeah. And we want to keep it fun. Right now, like I said, this is our first podcast, so we don't know what we're doing at all, as you can probably tell, but we'll figure it out.
Yep.
And
we're not Joe Rogan yet.
So
this is an interesting next one. Look what. So we'll just give you the next one. Number 6 is called Behind the Scenes.
Oh boy.
So what's interesting is I asked ChatGPT actually to make an agenda for our first podcast, and I gave it just a couple of details, and it put this thing together, and I looked at it like, well, that thing just about read my mind.
Yeah.
And
it did very well.
I was like, okay, this is great. So number 6.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick. Ernie sent it to me, and I looked at it. I'm like, wow, Ernie, good job. I called him. I said, Ernie, that's an amazing agenda. You did really good. He goes, wow, wasn't me.
I had to give it up. So number 6, it says, behind the scenes, what a day in the life looks like for your company, and talk about your team and culture. So I'm in the office, and I deal a lot with I do orders for. Wow. Well, where do you really start with that? So I order for Sam and for Jeff still.
Yep.
At this point, they submit their installers. They submit the orders to the office, and the office looks them through. They know what they're doing. There's very little that I really have to check over with that, and then those orders get submitted once they look good, and then I make sure that the installers are aware when their product comes in, so they can begin to schedule their jobs. I don't do anything with scheduling at this point because I don't do installed sales. Thaddeus handles a good chunk of that, and then some of the guys handle their own. So what we did was we broke our South Dakota at this point up into regions.
Yeah.
And so these different individuals that we keep talking about, they cover their region and they're responsible for their area. And so if we'll talk about Mitchell, it's always going to be Sam. Sam does the Mitchell region right now. And just aside parentheses here, he's really a great guy too, our installer there. We're so proud of these guys. They do amazing work. I don't know if I can say this out loud or not, but I do not recall having any callbacks at this point in these 2.5 years where I've been behind the screen in the office
with Jeff and
for their work.
Yeah.
For workmanship, I don't know of any.
Yeah, and they've both been in the field for years.
Yeah, we're so proud of them and happy with the detail and they're very serious about what they do. They take it seriously and they do a great job. They're talented. They mix experience with talent. Yeah. That's a wonderful combination. So, yeah.
Okay, and for myself, there, Ernie, what a dad looks like. What a dad looks like for me.
You're a lot better at posting your days than what I am. Mine are a little more boring than that.
There's a lot of different stuff. I put a lot of miles on driving around due to me going all the way out to the west end, all the way to the east end. But anyway, what I do is, at this point, like I said before, I'm covering everything as far as the installed sills. So if you call in and you want windows installed, I'm going to come out and measure them up and get you an estimate and find out what problems you're having with your current windows so we can solve your issues. And that's what I love to do. A lot of people, when I tell them I cover the whole state, they're like, "Oh, that traveling." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get the travel. You know, I love it." So it's why I do what I do. I really enjoy it, and I love meeting all you guys. When I want to unwind, I go spend time with people because that's how I unwind. I don't like, hanging out by myself. I'm very much a people person, and so I like meeting new people. And
I had a couple things I wanted to hit on that.
Go ahead.
So you said when you go out and when you show up, when you get a call, the customer calls, I need a quote on such and such. Yeah. You'll go look at their home and you measure. You measure everything up there, and you're able to give them a quote in the next couple of days, or
so. The majority of the time, I'll go out and measure. If you have time, we'll sit down at the kitchen table. We'll design your windows, design the doors right there on the spot. It's how I've been doing it for a while. And I have my laptop, and we just sit down. We can design the door, design the window, where you can actually see what it's going to look like, and you can say, let's change this, let's change that. So unless I'm running real tight on my schedule, which happens sometimes if I have a full day, spend too much time at one appointment, and then the next appointment I'll just get the measurements, and then I'll email it out to you within a day or two.
Yeah, that can happen, can't it?
But my goal is to go out, measure, sit down with you, and get you your estimate right away so we can get your problem solved. And you can actually watch me design the windows and doors, and you can tell me to change this, change that. You want a different grid pattern, you want a different color door, you want a different color window. There's thousands of options in the Previa portal. And I like showing that to you guys so you can actually pick what you want. So.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I was just thinking, the website is Provia. It's www.provia.com, PROVIA.com. And if you're thinking about calling us to come and look at your situation, you can go on Provia.com and start actually looking at what's available. Mm-hmm. Get some things in your mind, options in your mind that you want to discuss with Irvin.
With that, I've had it happen a few times now so they have their own design portal on their website where the customer can go on. You as the customer can go on there and design a door, and it's super simple to do. And I've had that a few times now where somebody calls, they want a new door, and they'll send me this door they already designed and said, here's what I want. Makes it super easy for me. Makes my job easier because I can just go in and make that door again right how they made it. It'll have all of the description there, exactly what they have in there, what color and all this.
Just match it up.
I can match that up. But I'm also happy to sit down and walk you through it.
Start
if you
from
don't
scratch
want to.
if we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a customer who just did that. He emailed me, 7 different doors. Yep. And he said, price these out for me. Yep. And it's all there. I don't have to guess anything. It's wonderful. It's great. The other thing you mentioned was something about miles. You're talking about you drive a lot of miles. Yeah. What kind of miles are these that you're talking about?
What kind of miles?
What kind of miles? More specifically, I think I heard through the grapevine that there might be an EV involved here. Is that?
Yeah, we got some people excited here about 3 weeks ago. So the only trucks I've ever had was a diesel truck till as about 3 weeks ago. I bought a Cybertruck, so there it is. It's out now.
You laid the cards on the table.
You might have seen it out and about. It's got the South Dakota Window and Door logo on it and everything. And
we're pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. I told my wife the other day, I said, it's actually sort of scary because I've always had diesel trucks. That's what I've had as far as trucks. And I don't know. I really like this truck. Like, more than I thought I would. Like, every time I drive it, I like it better. So, I don't know.
So, how many times did you have to call the guys with the generator to come out?
Never yet, but I'll take. If it happens, I will take a video and we'll show you guys. I promise. But we'll see. We got a rental company up in Mitchell, and he told me the other day. He said, "Hey, listen, if you ever run out of battery, I got a generator I can run out." I said, "Good, I'll keep you in mind." So.
It's a lot of fun, and the thing looks so cool. I think it does. I know a lot of people don't like the looks of the Cybertruck, but you did an amazing job on the wrap, the logo. I don't know who designed that.
By the way,
who did, but
Octane Ink and Tea South Dakota. They're out towards Sioux Falls. They're the ones that put the wrap on, and they did a really good job.
Apparently they did.
Yeah, they sort of designed it for me. I really told them what I want, and they designed it for me. But they did a good job. So if you need something wrapped, there you go.
It's amazing. And if you want the thrill of having a Cybertruck parked in your driveway, well, this is one way of getting it done.
Yeah, that's right. And not just that. I've had. Let me think here. I have 3 or 4 customers now that I pulled in. We measured the windows, and they're like, "You mind if I check it out?" Absolutely, check it out. I ended up giving them a ride, actually. So just last night in Spirit Lake, Iowa, I gave a guy a ride, and I asked him if he wants to drive it. He said no. I said he's good. So I don't know.
No, it's fun. It's very easy to drive. I wasn't sure, so their steering is drive by wire.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure quite how that, which means there is no mechanical connection. It's just the steering input is through electronics is telling the wheels where to go. And it works great. It's so, together with you, intuitive. Anyway, that was a little bit of a rabbit trail right there.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Or something like it.
I got one thing I want to say about it yet, though.
Yeah.
I should probably do a video review on this. If you follow me on social media, you've seen last Saturday I was towing a horse trailer with a horse. I just wanted to see how it tows. And I was really impressed, actually. But if you got to go far, it's not a good idea. It did take a lot of battery.
Yeah, well, it has 600 horsepower.
It
so
does.
You're not gonna have a power issue,
No.
or maybe a range issue.
You'll
but
have a
not
mileage
power.
issue.
And then also, it's got some kind of leveling for the back.
Yeah.
Like if you put something heavy, it
has
can
air
bring
leveling.
it back up again.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And it looks like you're able to haul a good amount of, for a truck. It's like
I've
you
had
hauled
quite a bit of
3
windows.
doors. How many? What'd you haul the other day?
There's 3 entry doors and 5 nice sized windows in the back of it. Yeah.
So that's basically what a regular any truck would be able to do right now. They kind of went away from the 8-foot box, but okay. And then here it's one of these things says something from a job. Is there any jobs that stand out right now that I guess I should have probably thought about it before I brought it up, but any jobs that stand out that either went really well or it was a really unique situation.
I do have one, and I'll just say this about it. I don't want to mention names, but I came in. Well, this has happened a few times, but I came in. I went out to quote a job, and the guy had a sliding patio door. He wanted all the windows replaced in his house and a sliding patio door, and but he didn't mention the sliding patio door. And I measured the doors up. And as I looked at the sliding patio door and it wasn't in good shape, and I said, "You sure you don't want to do this?" Or he said, "Oh no, I'm not doing that now." So I was like, "Is there a reason? Like what's keeping you from at least getting an estimate on it?" He said, "I can't afford that. I had another quote for it, and the price on it was a sliding patio door, was triple what my quote would have been, and." I hesitate even to say that because I don't want to sound like we're cheap, because we're not the cheapest company either. Our goal isn't to be the cheapest. We want to be fair, but we want to have quality products with service. Mm-hmm. So we won't be the cheapest person. But the quote he had for a sliding patio door was it was out of here. It was close to $30,000 actually for one sliding patio door. So
was it a triple or
no? It was 72 really? By 80 sliding patio door.
Okay, wow.
So
yeah, that is out there. That's no wonder. And then on the heels of that, I just wanted to hit that a little bit here, a plug. We just recently I don't know how you exactly say that, but we recently have been able to start offering financing.
Yes.
To our customers.
Thank
if
you
have
for mentioning that.
Another situation.
And we have an offer right now. I made a post about it yesterday. We have a 21-month same as cash offer right now.
Which means it's 0%.
0%
which is
interest.
Like you didn't even borrow money. Basically, just give you 21 months to pay it back.
It's just about 2 years.
Pretty amazing. That's great.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're looking at we're about wrapping this up here. So.
Okay. We better stop before we could talk 5 hours.
I was gonna say we should have maybe set a timer, Ernie. I don't know.
I didn't do it. I'm not even sure when we started. Really.
Okay, Ernie, do you want to talk a little bit about what's coming in future episodes? What we're planning? I mean, we did talk about this a little bit, but what our goal is with it. You want to talk about that?
So there's a couple different aspects to that. We're gonna set a little bit of an agenda for our future episodes, but we're also open to input. If there's things that you'd like to have discussed, you can email, text, whatever that to us, and we'll bring that up here, because there are some hot topics in the door and window industry, with installations, with products. You've got vinyl, fiberglass, wood are the major ones, but there's also aluminum windows, and how do they work out here. So some of that is stuff we'll discuss. But for us, we wanted to have these a place to just kind of have the opportunity to air out some of the issues that we face a lot with customers in our area. We're not gonna talk about Arizona a lot here. This is South Dakota, and we're gonna stick to the stuff we face here. But also I don't think we're gonna do everyone at once. One by one, we'll interview the installers as we go on.
Yes. And there's other companies we want to bring in. There's a couple people I have in mind that just people that have business experience, stuff like that. Bring them in just to chat. My goal here is, hey, by the way, if there's anybody listening to this that wants to be on here, that you have a lot of knowledge or in windows or doors, or even if you're just a homeowner and you've had a really bad experience or a really good experience with certain windows, we would love to interview you, because I've been trying to figure out, and we know what the pain points are as a whole for our customers. When I said pain points, I'm talking about the problems they're having, but we're trying to really dig deeper into that of what is the main issues that our customers are having, and how can we best solve that. And we've been talking about that the last couple of days. We would like to get about 10 people, just anybody that is a homeowner, has been for a while, and has experienced windows, doors, and the issues with those, and just sit down and talk with you. And yeah, so if you reach out to us, if you have that. Other than that, that's about it for today. I want to thank everybody for listening to this. If you made it all the way through, thanks a lot. We're going to try and have fun on here. We're going to try and keep it interesting. If, like Ernie said this too, if you have a certain topic you want us to talk about, let us know, or have questions. At some point, we might even have an open phone right here, where while we're live
Figured
here,
out the tech for some of this stuff. So yeah.
Yep. While we're live, you'll be able to call in, and
That'd
we
be
can
really
take
cool.
questions. So
that'd be really neat.
we want to do that. So
there's a couple things. We have a website as far as how to get a hold of us here. We have a website, sdwindowanddoor.com.
social media.
We have a Facebook page. We're actually working on Instagram, and I think we're on Instagram by now. We're gonna keep adding posts to that. Probably our major thing is Facebook, but people can also find us on the Provia website. Yeah. But so sdwindowdoor.com, and then if you want to email us, it's office@sdwindowdoor.com.
And the business social media side of it, and you can also follow my personal pages. I have a TikTok account. It's Irvin Ash. You won't miss it if you search Irvin Ash. I have Facebook, Instagram, and then there's a YouTube channel. If you search @SalesDudeLife, that's my YouTube channel name. So go ahead, follow that. You won't miss anything. And we're going to be probably posting this on the South Dakota Window Door YouTube page as well. So you can go subscribe to that to watch this. We also have that.
So. There's a cool video of a door installation on there you can watch. We'll be adding more stuff. And that's another thing, we're working on videos.
Content. If you have things you want to see, we're trying to get more content out there for you guys, specifically to what your problems are. If you have ideas, if you have things you want to see, whether it's the process of the window getting installed, the process of the flashing, the process of the interior trim, whatever it is, any kind of process there, shoot me a text at 605-481-0335. I'll try and get some content out like that, and I'd actually love some ideas. So with that, that's all I have. Thanks a lot for watching. Ernie, I'm going to let you take it from there.
All right. Well, we appreciate this opportunity to be able to do this, and hopefully we'll follow up in a timely manner with another video. It's been fun. I really like doing this. I was excited about doing this, and Irvin is a great guy to work with. So if you have any door and window needs, give us a call, an email, text, whatever. SouthDakotaWindowandDoor.com.
Let's go. Make it a great day, y'all.